Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everyone is doing well tonight, as well as our Republican Party, as well as our United States Navy and our Air Force, and as well as the job market, as well as the stock market, as well as oil prices dropping through the floor. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Oh, and the UFOs, I don't know what to make of that. And we got the cruise line, okay, I'm going to call it the illness. All kinds of stuff. Man, when you look back in time, did we dodge it? Did we dodge it? What they had laid out for us, if it wasn't for the man on the screen, Donald J. Trump, you don't even want to think about it. What were we told? 90% of the population would need psychiatric care if they knew the truth. And I don't doubt it. But what do I do while people come in? I play videos, give them time to get a nice cup of coffee, a cold brouhaha, or an adult beverage, and then we will be like butter and get on a roll.
For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed.
Dust on my Bible, flags on the line. You laughed at our warnings, called truth a crime. You sold us your secrets, wrapped up like hope. Signed all our futures with a poison note. You sat in your mansions, we prayed in the rain. You cast every favor on a ledger of pain. You thought you were covered, names on a list, private plain pages you swore don't exist. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. When the judge walks in, every bell gon' chime. Game over. You thought she was certain, thought he was too. Shook hands in the back room, said they'll never break through. You mocked every farmer, every steel-toed boo. Called them crazy and bitter while you buried the proof. Now screens start flashing, whole names, young kids, whole world scrolling through the things y'all did. Digital soldiers from the cornfields to Rome say leave our children alone or we're taking you home. Let's go! Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. When the judge walks in, every bell gon' chime. From the back roads to the big tall towers, Patriots worldwide, this the final hour. You can beg, you can bargain, You can scream, you can hide, but the book's been written and your name's inside. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you're done. Thought you hid in the shadows, but we watched every run. You sold out your own people, every promise a lie. Now the truth hits different with the world looking right in your eyes. Tick-tock, time's up, game over, you lose. Treason don't pay well when the light cuts through. God on our side and he's right on time. Nothing's gonna stop what's already signed. Game over.
Storm zone.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm they're talking about.
And they have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Now think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give President tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined. Now the gloves are off. Payback time.
Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and HE in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. If the deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he perceives as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you guys are doing well. Well, we got the final word from the Virginia Supreme Court. They didn't, the last ruling they did was a motion to, let us certify it while you're trying to decide. And they said, no, you can't do that. Everything's frozen in place. The old districts are in place and everything's frozen till our decision. And they came out with their decision today. And the lefties don't like it. Well, it's what the Russians say. And, some people get mad at me when I use colorful language. But what do the Russians say to people that are upset over stupid stuff? They say tough shit ski, and that's what we say to them. So that's what the Russians say. Tough shit ski. So anyway, who all came to see me? Let me see what's going on here. We got a lot of people coming. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Sherry's here. How are you? Todd, Sissy. Nice to see you. Come on, chat smooth for me. Flannel cheese. All right. Whoa. Outlandish. Nice to see you. Who did I miss? Did I miss somebody? Pappy Two Bears. Nice to see you. Wayne's here. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you, Wayne. Cole's here. All right. Flannel cheese, Cole. Outlandish. Let me see. Oh, my chats are moving kind of funky. Hi, Devin. How are you? Nice to see you. All right. As we go down the line, people are... Miss Mendersu, nice to see you. As always. People that don't like me saying hi to people, oh, well, you just got to move the video forward a little bit if you're watching after the live stream. All my lurkers, hi, Randy, how are you doing? I want to say hi to all my lurkers. And everybody on Rumble, nobody chats over there. There's not really a cohesive group, but there is a group. Hi, Benjamin, nice to see you. Randy's here. Let's see. Jerry is here. All right. Todd's here. Whoa, wait a minute. There it goes. I thought I put my finger on something too long. Got to be careful of that. Roberto. Nice to see you. All right, folks. Well, yeah. They're kaput. Oh, down there where in Virginia. So, and it really was a dressing down they got. I mean, I like this. I got different pictures of the news when it popped up. This was, who put this one? I like the one with the gavel banging now. They should have put it right over top of Newsmax. Right over top of Northern Virginia. I told you I was there like 15, 20 years ago, and I didn't even know what damn country I was in. Hi, Mac, how you doing? So what's really going to put the screws to them, and we got to do it or we're going to get screws put to us, is voter ID. We've got, this is all, hey, yeah, wow, all great. But if they can keep cheating like they've been cheating, and that's from Donald Trump's Truth Social posts that he unequivocally states that they do that. So here's this lone lunatic. Now, is this a shortage of cash? Because we don't see the pre-printed signs. We don't see the crowds out there raising hell. Word on the street is that they burned through a pile of money to get this done, only for it all to get flushed down the toilet. But I guess somebody was on some kind of commie protest app and showed up screaming and yelled. Some poor old fella's got a cane trying to go do some business. Let's see, let me guess. He's probably a 90-year-old man that's got to go in there to go see some bureaucrat over a bill for his what? They want to tax people for their lawnmowers now? I don't know. You can't even be old and enjoy your life, or maybe it's a car tax or something he's going in there to pay. These ticks on society. But anyway, she's so upset.
Shame! Shame on every single Supreme Court justice who voted to take away our rights as a people to express shame for taking away our ability to tell our things that we want when other states with the hellscape of a nation are doing it without their voters' consent. Shame! Shame! Shame!
Ha ha ha! I'm an old man with a cane too. I'd like been sitting there leaning up against one of those fences and just pointing and laughing. And I'd say, I'm Russian. You know, like what happened? Tough shitski. Ha 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 ha! So I got in my title that Trump is flexing his muscle in so many different areas. Oh, here's this woman talking about. She's dressed in orange too. Ha ha ha! She's talking about how much they dumped into this thing. What a big loss it is for them.
This is a big blow. Hakeem Jeffries. I basically wrote a column that was like, this was great for Hakeem Jeffries because he was all in on it. $38 million spent from a group affiliated with him. Obama was in on this. And now this is a big defeat. And one of the reasons why Virginia was so important as well was Democrats were anticipating this Supreme Court decision, which is also going to have massive effects. So they felt like they've got this sort of tranche of 4 seats, and now, of course, that's gone. Again, they're still hopeful that they can maybe get 1 or 2 of these seats, but it has been a big waste of money. They'll have to pivot maybe to 2028 because this was a procedural decision. It looks like the voters, at least by a small margin, wanted these maps, but they're going to have to wait at least 2 years and to get these maps.
They're not going to be in existence we get voter ID through. So if they tried to do something later on, tough. And Obama, he pushed for it big time. And here he is, he's showing his commie bona fides, right? And I had this video and didn't play it the other day. Where is it? If I still got it in the studio, I don't know. Here it is. Him and Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill, who made that filthy, disgusting post wishing harm to Donald Trump. No, I didn't. I was hoping he would see his legacy be destroyed. And then, oh, what a pure puke. These people won't be able to walk down the streets. But this is supposed to be a cute little thing they did for May the 4th be with you.
Happy Star Wars Day from the Obama Presidential Center.
I have a very good feeling about this.
Mark, I am glad you are here. I want to tell you about someone.
Okay.
A young person born into ordinary circumstances, but restless, unsatisfied. A kid with big dreams, a bit of a rebel.
I like where this is going.
They join a scrappy group of underdogs and set out to change things.
By blowing up a giant space laser?
Mark, this is not about you. As wonderful as you are, this is about them. This isn't a monument to my legacy. It's a gateway to yours. The Obama Presidential Center is much more than a museum. It is an entire campus built to empower you. A place to come together, get inspired, and become a force for change. See what I did there?
Strong the dad jokes are.
Oh, that's perfect.
The building looks like a dumpster with windows. It looks like a dumpster. And uninspiring cold. It looks actually Soviet style. But Glenn Beck, I got this clip before it went live. I should go ahead and play it now because they're talking about what's in the Obama library, and Glenn Beck gets shocked toward the end because he was telling everybody, well, he was friends with this communist, Bill Ayers. And everybody's like, you're just trying to incite people. You don't know what you're talking about. And he's actually got the flipping book for sale in his library, Rules for Radicals, which is a playbook on how to raise hell. Oh, no, he's a community organizer, not a hellraiser, not a Marxist, not a communist Muslim. Jihadist? No, not a member of the Muslim Brotherhood. No. Oh, yeah, he is. And came that close. My fingers are very close together. That close to completely running your life. Let me see if this is the right clip. Sitting in his ivory tower or his cement dumpster. Let me see if this is it. Oh, this is, I'll play this in a minute. This is Keir Starmer. His party got blown out. And he's standing on shaky ground. So over there, Keir Starmer getting smart alecky with Trump. Where is that clip I had of Glenn Beck? For crying out loud, you might have taken my word for it. Jiminy Crickets. I know what that one is. That ain't it. Man, oh man alive. I'd go out and get that one. Find it somewhere. But anyway, yeah. They're going over the ugly jewelry that Michelle has for sale that are supposed to inspire people. They turned Star Wars into some kind of gay stuff that nobody wants to watch. I mean, what do they got? Chewbacca in a tutu? I meant to put this up at the start of the broadcast. About this cruise ship thing, okay? Whenever you are feeling like an idiot, never forget this image. Ha ha! Remember, these people were crazy. And no, they are crazy. So we got to keep our guard up. Who's somebody? Elva, nice to see you, Elva. Damon, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. So, yeah, these people were crazy. And all of them were on top of the world, are standing on shaky ground now, being investigated. Like Tim Walsh sending, SWAT teams to go shoot paintballs at people's front porches if they didn't get inside during the pandemic, right? So, I'm not sure where that clip is. Oh, Glenn Beck. Oh, this might be it right here. Here we go. Yeah, this is it. What does GB stand for? Glenn Beck, yeah. Okay. Yeah, get a load of this. She's giving us an inside look on what's in the highfalutin, glorious Obama library. That's how many years did it take to build that dump? But anyway, here we go.
Obama has, he's got this presidential library and building that's coming up, and it looks like the Death Star, yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. But it's not the only thing that looks like death. He's got all this merch that he's selling. Jason, can you pull this up on your computer for those that are watching on glennbeck.com/torch?
I thought this was not
trinkets? Real. Go ahead.
I had to check the gift shop to make sure this was not satire. This is actually up there. This is a clay pin for Obama's presidential center.
Describe it for the insiders.
Well, it looks.
Sorry, the listeners.
It looks just like his ugly building, except uglier and made out of clay. And you pin it like it's a brooch or something.
I guess, yeah. But this is even one of the more milder ones. They have social justice jewelry supporting sustainable artisan communities worldwide, based off of Michelle Obama's amazing fashion sense. You can get Legos. Would you like your renewable energy Lego sets?
You gotta be kidding me. Wind power Lego sets?
This is parody, right? Is this a free... This story is from the Free Beacon. They often do parody. Tell me. This...
I went to the gift shop. It's there. This is... let me get to the craziest ones. There's no way he has rules for radicals to buy on this merch shop, right?
Oh, my gosh. He's selling rules for radicals. Do you remember the names they called us for saying that that he even knew about that book?
Yeah. This is how I think it's parody. They're laughing at us.
Oh, yeah, they've been laughing at us for a long time. They've been mocking us and laughing at us for a very long time. Wow. Unbelievable. He's selling rules for radicals there.
Yeah, and what was that other book next to it? Taneshi somebody or another. Real American fare there. Real American fare. But anyway, oh my gosh, I don't even know what this clip is about. They just said something to the effect of fake crapper is just being a ninny or let's see. Should I get my headphone? Yeah, because I can't hear these damn things while I'm sitting like this. Let's see what fake crapper is babbling about on his podcast. Like I said, they were all on top of the world. All these people that are are going to bed at night scared as hell, losing their jobs. But anyway, let's see what this idiot's got to say.
While hardly the most important part of Secretary of State Rubio's comments about Iran, he did drop a few 90s hip-hop references that those of you who are not Gen X may have missed. First, talking about what the Iranian regime is doing to its own economy, he said this:
"They should check themselves before they wreck themselves in the direction that they're going."
That is a reference to the 1992 Ice Cube song, Check Yourself, from his album The Predator.
You better check yourself or you wreck yourself.
Then, at a different time, he was talking about the mental stability of the leaders of Iran, and he said this:
"They're insane in the brain."
That is a reference to the 1993 Cypress Hill song, Insane in the Brain. He might have music on his mind. We just saw this clip posted by White House official Dan Scavino of Secretary Rubio taking some time at a wedding to DJ. So perhaps there is music on his mind and his mind on his music.
Ha ha, fake crapper. I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Ha ha. There, how about that one? But I tell you what, so he was making fun of Rubio. Okay. I got one clip from his press conference. Let me see you right here. You didn't bring this one up when he took a question and handled it so well. Everybody enjoyed the press conference.
Put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care.
I don't want to get a copyright strike, but I'll play it a little bit more. There you go. Yeah. How's that go when things go right? It takes two to make it out of sight. Woo. Okay, it takes two to make a thing go right. So anyway, Jake Crapper is not down with the people, and Marco Rubio is, and they hate it. They can't stand it. Everybody knows you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. All right? And that's exactly what they better be doing. But now, I'll get serious. Here's a couple of clips from Rubio. One is where he talking about Cuba, and then the other, I'm not sure which one's which. He's talking about Iran. You know, you're stupid if you don't fire back. They would love for Trump to get in some kind of diplomatic butt kissing, like all these former people with the State Department that have been fired are saying he's in trouble, he's got to do this, he's got to do that, the Saudis are breaking away, all that kind of crap. They'd love for stuff like that to happen. Let's see what he's talking about here.
$6 million of humanitarian aid, U.S. humanitarian aid that was distributed by Caritas, the Catholic Church agency. We're prepared to do more. In fact, we've offered the regime there $100 million of humanitarian aid that unfortunately so far they have not agreed to distribute to help the people of Cuba. So we did the hurricane relief, but we're offering more. And it's the regime that's not accepting it. It's the regime that's standing in the way of it. So we discussed that, and we hope we can do it because we do want to help the people of Cuba who are being, hurt by this incompetent regime that's destroyed the country and the economy.
Secretary, so they gave $100 million of humanitarian aid, and the junta, that's what I'll call them. They call them an outlaw junta. They're holding back the money. They won't give the money to the people. And so it's not looking good for them. This is a post that was put up, let me see, ABC, I think. ABC News. Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez warned that the U.S. is on a dangerous path that could lead to remember the trouble they gave Trump over this term, a bloodbath in Cuba? Oh, can't believe the President of the United States is using that kind of language. Well, listen to this nitwit. In response to President Trump's continued rhetoric about taking over the country, and said there had been no progress in talks between the two countries. Well, let me tell you something, you creep. They're showing how vicious they are. They're there at the end of the barrel of a gun. That's what got them in. They're murderers. All right, just like Lenin, Trotsky, Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot. Go down the list. Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez said it seems that the U.S. government has chosen a dangerous path, a path that could lead to unimaginable consequences. Oh, really? To humanitarian catastrophe, to a genocide. Who's going to do that? Who's the foreign minister under Adolf? Put it in the chats if you know no goggling. Who was the foreign minister to Adolf? The loss of Cuban and young American lives could lead to a bloodbath in Cuba. And then they had this picture, this guy here, foreign minister. Cuban foreign minister warned, no goggling now, who's Adolf's foreign minister? Cuban foreign minister warns U.S. on dangerous path that could lead to a bloodbath in Cuba. I hope they got him out. Are you going to be part of it? Are you instigating it? Or are you giving us fair warning to protect your people? There's a difference, you know. I'm seeing if anybody, hi, Debbie, nice to see you. Yeah, it was funny, wasn't it? Marco Rubio. Sue, nice to see you. Wait a minute, I gotta get my booms ready. Because, once again, remember, you all give me some thumbs up. Wayne reminded you all to give me some thumbs ups. It helps the video get around. And I was thanking people for kabow! I was thanking people for going to buy me a coffee for last week, and I appreciate Colette finishing up last week at Buy Me a Coffee last night. Kaboom! But I had a story come in my mind because Shannon came in and bought a coffee last week too. Kaboom! Thank you, Shannon. But I seem to remember. Is it my old brain or what? I thought Shannon a while back was from Rumble. And she corrected me and said, no, I'm from YouTube. I thought she was from Rumble. I was thinking, oh, finally got something going on Rumble with Buy Me a Coffee. And no, she was a YouTuber. But anyway, Shannon, I appreciate it. I don't know if you remember that or not. And Mike and Bev and Robin and Wayne, hilarious too. Rolling. Younger gang, Pat B2 Bears, and as always, Miss Minder Sue for helping out last week. So we're entering a new week. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Buy me a coffee. And Randy said Goebbels. That's a good guess, Randy. Anybody got, that's the only guess so far. Anybody else got any guess? Who was? I will tell you. I will tell you another hint. He had a long drop with a short rope. And, well, I'll go ahead and tell you. Because I already did the music. Joachim von Ribbentrop was the foreign minister. By the way, I put a link in the description at the 34-minute mark in the chat. So I'm sorry, not the description. For Buy Me a Coffee and maybe want to help channel up. But anyway, so this foreign minister, keep your history in mind, buddy. I don't know what your motivations are. I'm sure it's being documented. But if they're throwing those kinds of threats out, you're a peanut pimple country, a pimple on a mule's behind. And we have one of the largest, most powerful bases right there in Guantanamo Bay, right in your backyard, front yard, whatever you want to call it. And you screw around like that, and we will track you down, hunt you down like dogs in the night. There won't be getting out in the middle of the night and going to some country for asylum. We'll flip over every rock on the face of this earth till we find you and make you pay if that kind of rhetoric goes through. And I'm sure that's the kind of talk they're hearing. Now, here is Marco Rubio talking about Iran. And, hey, you'd be a fool not to fire back.
Well, I guess, but the point is, if there's not much seizing in the firing, because we've
well, you should ask that of the Iranians. Don't ask me. We didn't fire. They fired on us. My point is, if you fire at a U.S. Navy ship, what are we supposed to do? Say, oh, there's a ceasefire. We're not going to shoot down your drone. That's a stupid question. That's a stupid position to take. Of course we fired back at them. They were shooting at us. That's what I would expect to do. Only stupid countries don't shoot back when you're shot at. And we're not a stupid country.
Do you expect that there, or have you conveyed any red lines to Iran where, if the ceasefire or whatever you call it, if they cross...
Well, the red line is clear. If they threaten Americans, they're going to get blown up. I mean, that's how much clearer can you be than that? If you are a missile launching guy, whatever they call that job, and you're sitting there and you fire a missile at the United States and we saw you fire it, we're going to hit you. Of course we are. Who doesn't do that? Unless you want to get your ship sunk. I mean, we're not going to let our ships get sunk by the Iranians with their little, their drones that they're firing. They don't have a navy anymore, but they bring out these little Boston whaler fishing boats and they try to swarm you. We're going to blow those boats up if they're coming towards our boats. I don't know if that's a red line, but I hope they know it is by now. So if I were one of these Iranians on a fast boat and they tell you, hey, your mission is to go after a U.S. destroyer, you're probably not going to survive. I think that's a red line.
Yeah, you got probably a 90% chance of meeting your maker, okay? And, no, they got those destroyers out of the Strait of Hormuz. Very smart move because, some of these people want to meet their maker. That's what they did with the USS Cole, okay? Remember that? And so, yeah, what they're shooting for is any kind of big victory. Oh, we got one of their battleships, so that they'll put people who are willing to end it all in some little goofball submarine pack full of boom booms. They'll do anything they can try to get. So yeah, we got out of there. But like Trump posted here, and I said it last night. I said, were we talking lasers? When he said, oh, they were like big, beautiful butterflies fluttering down Earth to their grave. Lasers, bing, bing, gone. Hey, no ammo, okay? The ship generates tons of electricity, and it's like something out of Star Wars. Not the gay Star Wars. We're talking about the old school Star Wars. And I saw that comment. It was Todd, I think. Said the building looked like you would think Darth Vader would walk out of there. And it's true. That's the way on Endor, I think it was, they had those concrete bunkers, just a depressing, nasty-looking structures. Something the Empire would put up. I want to put up something. Let me see if this is right. Oh, my gosh. After the redistricting, look. Oh, who is this person? Who is this person? I guess on X. Or is it Blue Sky, where everybody goes to cry? If anybody on Blue Sky watches my stream, that's a reasonable person, please reconsider existing on that platform. Unless you're doing modern anthropological work, okay, on violent tribes and pagan worshipers, something outside of the Judeo-Christian teaching, you're researching but don't be on there to join that band or take them seriously. I don't know. So most of us should know who this is. Hassan Abi. Hassan the Hun. You ain't no Hun. That's us Krauts. But anyway, Schwabish Krauts, by the way. Anyway, the Virginia Supreme Court denied the results of the redistricting referendum. SCOTUS gutted the Voting Rights Act, and Tennessee carved up the last Democrat district, destroying black voter power in the state. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable. Hassan Piker, Chunky Uyghur's nephew, okay? And that's who it is. And he's calling for violence, all right? He's got a big voice. He's been pushed forward. He's been getting his palms greased. And he's been consorting with known terrorists, and he's shown propaganda videos for Hamas. And he said, if you don't like the health care program, you should go SHOT, put an extra O in there, Rick Scott, a sitting senator. He said these things. I heard him say it. But listen, you bonehead. Last I heard, every black person can vote in the state, okay? And not every black person votes the way you think they should, okay? We're kicking down the walls of the plantation, and you can't stand it. You're going to have to like it. Tough shitski, okay? And this is a quick little clip, but it proves exactly what I'm saying. Look at this greasy-headed, bearded liberal trying to tell a person of color how they should feel. But she sets them straight real quick.
The woman now who is likely going to win the 9th district in Tennessee is a black Republican woman as a result of this redistricting effort. It's likely going to be a black Republican woman who beats that old white man.
Could I make this very
simple
point?
But that's racist.
We're
going to come back.
It actually is.
We're going to take a quick break, and then Tesla and Congressman, I'm going to have you both respond. We'll be right back.
Ha, ha, ha. Went straight to a commercial. A black Republican woman is going to win that district instead of an old white male. But they can't stand it because the person is a Republican. A Republican, live with it. Live with it. And, this guy, is it Platt or what's this guy's name? I got a couple of videos I could put up about him. I got one, I will, maybe two. He's running against Spencer Pratt. He's running against Karen Bass. In this video, I can't play because he has music in the background, and his campaign ought to tell him that limits how many times it can be shared because of copyright. Get some music that's like YouTube's got a thing where you can use their music they've approved, and some homegrown music that you can put in the background. But anyway, he calls her by her full name, calls her Karen Basonda or something like that, and points out when she was in her 20s. She was shilling for Cuba, went to Cuba, praising Cuba. She's a communist Marxist to the bone. And he lays it all out in like a 5-minute video. And the notion, the word on the street, he's going to win. He's going to win. That's going to put a big dent. Here's a video of him talking with somebody, and I don't think there's any music in the background. Let me see here.
Do you think you have an actual shot, and how and why? I mean, it seems that the odds are stacked against you.
Yeah, thankfully, all my supporters in Los Angeles are Democrats. Everyone I know, my family, are all Democrats. I grew up in LA. I went to Crossroads. Everybody that texted me last night, amazing, congratulations, are all Democrats. So what people are confused on, the Democrats all are behind me. It's just the socialists and the communists that don't back me. But no, I'm confident I'm probably going to win with 51% on June 2nd because I don't do a political message. I don't do national politics. I don't do tribal politics. I don't talk about other states. I'm localized. I just want to fix our streets, get the lights on. I want people to feel safe. I want to get our tax money to not be robbed by these literal criminal NGOs stealing from our tax to increase the homelessness. So my message isn't political, it's common sense. So I have Democrats love me, Republicans love me, independents love me, libertarians love me, constitutionalists love me. It's just socialists and communists.
Well, I know, Junior, you put up good ads and you're intelligent. You lay out your case very well. But have you got some Fetterman in you? Remember that, folks. Everybody's jumping up and down. Yay, John Fetterman's going to become a Republican. Ain't a damn Republican walking the face of this earth that agrees with Bernie Sanders, okay? Like Fetterman did, and still does to a large degree. We don't need him in the party. There's 100 senators in a nation of 370 million human beings. Just because Fetterman said, well, I'm standing for Israel, and I'm standing for no girls in boys, no boys in girls sports, and brainless things that you can agree with, doesn't mean you get a ticket in the Republican Party. We don't need any new rhinos. So I don't know about this kid. Can he walk the walk, or is he just talking the talk? And what's the rest of his talk? We shall see. We shall see. And who's going to be the Republican competition? Let's see what's going on first. Because I tell you what, oh my God, I might as well put this up. What is wrong with our? I got to put this. I'll talk about an American CCOT, mental institutions, and criminal mega prisons. This person, teacher, admits to disturbing S3X, okay? Act with a damn dog. I didn't watch it. Makes me sick. But how many times do you see these headlines? Remember I told you to keep up with Paco Rivera on Death Row and Execution's channel? I said he was going to be busy and doing a lot of videos. Well, I'm right. He's busy and doing a lot of videos. Here, let's hope he does a video about this situation. A lot of people were like puked out over this business. Prosecutors say Charlotte train stabbing case won't be dismissed. Okay, great. And I was wondering, who is this entity that said, well, he's just too mentally ill? They're all mentally ill. They wouldn't be doing what they're doing if they were normal. So, a report here from Fox News said federal prosecutors say the murder case against the man accused of killing Irina Zarutska will not be dismissed regardless of a competency ruling. Are the people that ruled on the competency ruling competent? Or are they just like Ketanji Jackson Brown, or whatever the hell her name is? And some other judges that I'm going to bring up. Beryl Howell. These people are crazy. A Bureau of Prisons evaluation concluded DeCarlos DeJuan Brown Jr. is not competent to stand trial at this time. A Bureau of Prisons evaluation. That's not a courtroom. And they're not shrinks. And even if they were, they're not a damn jury. But they top it off with this. Federal officials, that could be anybody. That could be somebody working in the post office. Said the evaluation also found Brown could likely be restored to competency with treatment. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he did and why he did it. It's a vicious thug playing dumb, playing ill. I've been around emotionally disturbed people. I've been around more than I care to admit. But it happens in life. And you got some very, very distinct parameters to say somebody is incompetent to understand that they couldn't understand what they were doing. Like this, here's a crazy person right here. And, well, actually, 1.5 crazy people. I'm not crazy about Patrick Bet Davis, okay? I'll tell you a little more about that later on down the road. But Wes Moore would let his minor son go through gender transition surgery. This is the same bonehead that George Clooney said is their great hope for becoming a Democrat nominee. This is, and did you hear that the Key Bridge project just got canceled? Remember when the cargo ship knocked down the Key Bridge, and they were saying this is going to be an economic catastrophe. It's going to cost billions of dollars. Blah 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 blah. Well, ain't nothing happened with it. Everything's still laying in the damn water. They got a little way for boats to get through. But they just stopped it. What's going on there? Are we going to see some handcuffs get broken out over that? But anyway, somebody like this is not fit to be a parent. Certainly not fit to be in a position of public responsibility over our lives.
Your son comes in saying he wants to transition. What do you do?
Well, first, it's my son, so I love him regardless, right? And he's always going to have my undying love. That's me, right? I want to make sure that I'm involved in understanding where he is, how he's feeling, the way he's feeling, why he thinks it's important. If this is a journey that he wants to go down, I want him to always be comfortable in his own skin. And I want him to always know that he has a partner in me to help him along that journey.
Would you advise him to wait till he's 18?
If this is how he is feeling and I feel like I'm closely tied to him, I'm not going to advise him on something that he feels is
at 14 years old, Wes?
No, I understand it. But what I'm saying is the most important thing for me is I want him to feel safe in his own skin, safe in his own decision-making, but also know that at 14 years old, I want to be involved inside of that process as well. I'm not going to condemn him nor castigate him. I'm not going to kick him out of the house. I'm not going to do anything that's going to hurt him.
Yeah,
but I just want to make sure that I'm involved.
You're out of your damn mind. And you're not fit to be a father. You can't even call yourself a man if you behave that way. In my book. My father would look at me and say, what's wrong with your brain? And I'd probably be out sleeping under a tree somewhere if I pushed it. You can't have that kind of hedonistic giving the middle finger to the good Lord and live under the same roof. No way. No way. So anyway, you know, this cruise ship thing, right? How many of you thought about Rudy Giuliani? Here it is. American passengers from a cruise ship plagued by a deadly virus have returned to the U.S. as health officials around the world race to contain the outbreak. We speak with an American doctor still trapped on board, examining the growing response. Across 5 states, Americans being, and this NBC, can't trust them. Americans across 5 states are being monitored for possible exposure. I was trying to think of, did he go to public events or, because, we heard that people were like shaking whoopee dust on people in public events to try to make them sick. Remember those rumors were going around? And I thought about that because I knew about what was going on with the cruise ship and the hantavirus thing 5 days ago. I just didn't put it in my broadcast because I'd been talking about mosquitoes and ticks and every other damn thing going on. And I said, well, man. But anyway, they put out today, I guess, to quell concerns for people, and it is probably accurate. Rudy Giuliani, him or his spokesman stated that 9/11 toxins were behind his health crisis. He forwarded a social media post confirming his current hospitalization is related to events from ground zero on 9/11. So, but I had it in the back of my mind. Did somebody, because he stands to really crack some rear ends. Rudy Giuliani does with what they put that man through, what they put him through. So anyway, I showed you Rubio. Now I got 2 clips of where, let's see if there's any difference in them. Where they blew the stacks off of the back of tankers, Iranian tankers that were heading into port that were warned. Okay, one was called the Sea Star, and the other one, I think, is Savid or something like that. Let's see. I got to cut my mic off. Video plays smoother. One was a Sevda. That one got it the worst. The first one didn't seem as rough, but what it's telling them is we don't need to sink those oil tankers. We can just knock your propulsion out, and you can sit there like an idiot. I had a still photo. Yeah, it's same video. Here it is. Here it is. And CENTCOM publishes footage of strikes on the smoke tanks of tankers MT Sea Star 3 and MT Sevda after the ships entered the Iranian port in violation of the American naval blockade. Has nothing to do with ceasefire, blockade separate. According to a statement from the Iranian Central Headquarters, Khatam al-Anbiya, the ships were hit in the area of the city of Jask in the province of Hormozgan and off the coast of Fujairah, however you say that, United Arab Emirates. So, Trump's flexing that military part of it. He said giving them love taps. Giving them love taps. And also his economic and political muscle. He's showing everybody. And he's busy all the time. Today he came out with Military Spouse Day, presidential action, a proclamation. I mean, how many times do we recognize what spouses go through, especially when their loved one never comes home or comes home in a very bad condition. So anyway, here on the jobs front, Maria Bartiromo put out there 115,000 jobs added in April. Tops forecasts. Of course, Trump put out a truth about Bloomberg. I might read it if I get to it, but it essentially says Bloomberg is always predicting doom and gloom, doesn't want Trump to do well, and they keep getting proved wrong. Sent stock surging. So jobs reports are looking good. Oil was going down, moderating. We got investment rocking and rolling into the country. We got rhinos getting kicked out of Indiana, and Trump pretty much anointing people. Of course, they vetted beforehand. But here, all the wins. Trump put it up. And if you go against Trump, now they said one of those characters, 1 out of 7 in Indiana, barely survived. Now, did he survive because somebody showed up in a minivan with some shoe boxes full of stuff? Look what I found in the boys' gym. Who knows, But anyway, the list goes on and on and on and on. And talk about regime change. Not just Iraq, not just Cuba, but we're getting the commies the hell out of our own backyards. Here's Laura Logan. Is this Mel K? Yeah, this is Mel K. I talked about her a little bit in the past because, she got on some podcasts that were just kind of out there. I like her as a person and all. But she got in some weirdo stuff. But anyway, now she's talking about with Laura Logan, talking about the let me see. I haven't watched this yet, so we can watch it together. Nazis planned a fake alien invasion. Did you know that? How many of you were with me very early in my broadcasts years ago? I had a picture on my thumbnail of King Kong from 1933, and I also mentioned War of the Worlds. I said those were the 2 seminal moments in media where regimes discovered the power and the influence of movies and media over the human mind. You had people running out in the streets fainting after watching King Kong. I'm talking a black and white stop action. You had people running around breaking into grocery stores and getting supplies because they thought aliens were taking over during Orson Welles' War of the Worlds, a radio program. And on it went. So anyway, I don't know if anybody in the chat remembers me doing a whole video on it. But anyway, here we go.
Going back to the Nazis, here's one of the crazy things that they discussed in their papers. It's in writing. It's a matter of historical record. People can look it up. They planned the alien invasion from the moon. And every time I see people out there trying to push so hard on the alien narrative, right, that the aliens are there, there's even a horrible Hollywood film about the Nazis invading from their base on the moon. It really makes me smile because they really want people to believe that we are, facing this threat from an external force, because they had an actual plan to fake an invasion once they had conquered the world, to fake an invasion from the outside to unite the world around them. And what you see is all these government programs that have been in there for decades, right, that have cost billions and billions, if not trillions of dollars. And I find it so interesting that Donald Trump has a team that has been working on this, investigating this, and is going to come out. And I'm telling you, Mel, I just know it. They're going to come out and they're going to say aliens are not real. They're going to say we have been plundering the resources of the American people to finance these dark programs that are nonsense, that all of this is technology, actually. Most of it is technology that they have been developing. And when people say, well, I saw this thing in the sky and it didn't do, they brought the Concorde out, okay? And that went into commercial production and use in the 1970s. By that time, it was 20, 30, 40 years old as technology. I mean, you talk to anyone who's really honest in the military, they'll tell you, we've never used more than 10% of our advanced military capability. So what is it that they've been withholding from us? That's what most of the cover-up is about. But also because what is the other part of the cover-up? Is that the only thing that comes that is not part of this world goes back to the Bible and to the fallen angels. And it proves that God is real, and that's the last thing they want.
Yeah, that's the last thing they want, to prove God is real. And the biggest lie Satan was able to promulgate is that he didn't exist. And, people, not to make anybody mad, but I see Book of Enoch in the chats. Let me tell you something. It might as well be the Book of Elmer Fudd if it's not in the King James Version of the Bible. Okay? It's inviolate. The Bible is inviolate. It can't be damaged. It can't be altered. It is a holy book. And no, nobody's hiding stuff from us because they want us to do this and do that and do no. The book is the book is the book. And everything, like my father used to say, everything that ever happened and anything that ever will happen is in that book. So whatever lost books they're trying to hide. What did Satan do with Eve? He's not telling you everything. He's hiding stuff from you. If you take a bite from the apple, if you betray his word, his rules, you'll become powerful and all knowledgeable. A lie. So no, I don't deal with these charlatans, and I don't watch lost books and what they're trying to hide. There's nothing hidden. It's all in that book. And it's all in your brain, all in your heart, and all in your prayers. I don't know it all. I don't know can't recite it from cover to cover. But I do my best, and I try not to be deceived or distracted. So anyway, so they're putting out videos that some of them, I don't have them all, but some of them I have been, I've seen, I didn't upload. You know, we've been reading UFO books since the 1960s. Our generation, if you hadn't heard of Ray Bradbury and all the other science fiction writers back in the day, when holding a book meant something, you know, and you could get lost in basically fantasy and learn a little bit about science too. But anyway, we've been watching stuff about aliens since the 60s. This is the one that's got a lot of people talking. This is a blow up of it. You even have like Anna Paulina Luna saying stuff like, or people in her thread, it looks like an Etch-a-Sketch. But anyway, they're saying, oh, it looks like the wheels that were on Elijah's chariot of the gods. And you know, stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, so you say Elijah's wheel fell off and it's just flying around? You know, keep in mind that Russia did 14 missions. Where did Russia go in 1982? Let's see if no goggling it. What excursions did they go on? 14 times. back in 1982. And they've been doing experiments with space since the 1950s. Roland got it. Randy got it. Venus. They actually landed on Venus and have video. Very brief. And did sampling and studies on the atmosphere, very brief. I think the last lander they did lasted maybe an hour and 20 minutes or so before it disintegrated in acid rain in 475 degree Celsius temperatures. But anyway, they haven't been doing nothing. We've had since the 60s. Oh, I'll play this later in a minute. Since the 60s, there's been talk of us having a anti-gravity plane. And people think, that's ridiculous talk. Well, not really. We can simulate no gravity now. We have, with gyroscopes, they were using gyroscopes to propel buses back in the 30s and 40s, which is a huge wheel that almost perpetual motion. The Germans had a flying wing in the late 30s and the 1940s, which is the platform for our B-1 bombers, a flying wing. And the anti-gravity planes they talk about, I think it's a X6 or something. I have to look it up. But those have a plasma coating on the outside of the vehicle, whatever it is, a jet or wing or whatever you want to call it, the craft. And it reduces friction by up to 80%. So that's what they mean by anti. It slips through the air with no friction. And it can come to a stop and an abrupt start. Much like what they're seeing here. A lot of videos that they no need to release now, because we know what it is, were from the B-1 bomber doing night flights. I was near a air base 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And people were saying, oh, there's something weird going on. What it was test flights. Nobody knew about stealth technology, but you knew something was up there. Taking off and landing. What is this? Wow. So I'm sure there's technology. You notice how it stays above the mark. And the mark I'm talking about is the center of the screen, the bullseye you see there. It stays above that. It looks like it's toying with going inside the circle. It makes me think of Darth Vader saying, I have you now, when he locks in Luke while he's chasing him in a TIE fighter. But they have testimony from pilots that say it moved in ways it shouldn't be able to move. It zigged, it zagged, it did a backflip, and then it just vanished. It took off at a... Well, the ones I heard was the things were moving about 80 miles an hour. But we've heard stuff about cigar-shaped objects since the 50s and 60s. Oh, I thought it was a video. It's just it looks like a dirigible to me, but I don't see it in motion. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. These videos are going all over the place. People are analyzing them. And remember, When Queen Elizabeth died, they filled the sky up with a hologram of her. Who remembers that? How long ago was that? You could see it in the UK everywhere. It looked like a photograph in the sky of Queen Elizabeth. They can do 3D projections onto the sky now. So, don't think that there can't be some games being played with this stuff too. Robert Gavoy was likening it to a laser pointer and a cat. You just have the laser pointer, zip around, watch the cat move. Now this does look some kind of twin engine, some kind of craft. But you don't know if you're looking at the bottom of it, the back of it, the top of it, or what it is. It's interesting and it needs to be explored. They've got capabilities they've had for decades and decades that would boggle our minds. Just like with the lasers. I mean, when Trump ran for office, we didn't know we had lasers that could knock out drones and planes. We knew they were working on them, was what we were told. But remember what I said when I was young. I ended up with some prodigious knots on my head. When I had a magnifying glass, and I very unwisely pointed it at my brother's crack while he was bent over digging around in a creek. And he jumped 5 feet up in the air and he weighed 300 pounds. And when he landed, he got a hold of me and it wasn't fun. And I thought back then, and that was a very, very, very long time ago. And I figured then, I could sit here and burn up paper and write my name on a piece of paper, use a magnifying glass, and damn near get myself killed by my big brother because I did what I did. Can you imagine what the military could do with stuff? Just a magnifying glass. And they were prodigious knots. They were like eggs on my head, but they would not roll off. And I never did it again. So anyway, here's another one. Here we go. Yeah, I saw in the chat Project Bluebeam. Do you think if somebody could get nations to bow to them, get nations to surrender their weapons, get nations to give up all their gold and serve some master from the sky, if they could trick people into believing there was an overwhelming power coming, that they hadn't been working on that? Now here this thing is traveling, looks like through a wind farm. I wonder if they could get an idea of the size of it. Some of them got broken propellers. I mean, the stupidest looking thing you can think of. Those stupid wind farms. But anyway, maybe they could gauge the size of it. It's just like a white dot. I think this is the one they said was going 80 miles an hour. But so can the Shahed drones with weed eater engines on them. Weed eater engines. And I showed a video where the Chinese did about 4 years ago. They did a light show where it looked like a dragon. And it was thousands of synchronized drones that lit up multicolor. Remember that, folks? And it was a dragon in the sky. So, I guess let people get it out of their system. But if they're going to be flummoxed and bamboozled and stay awake at night over a light flickering in the sky or whatever it is we're watching here. Feel sorry for them, because there's a lot of other things to do in life. So anyway, I would worry about it. Here we go. When I see a 4 foot tall somebody get out of a flying saucer, even then I won't believe it. Have to go over there and twist his nose and see what's going on. UFO Files reports of 4 foot tall beings emerging from UFOs revealed. Newly resurfaced FBI UFO files. Strangest old mystery. Claiming small beings emerged from flying saucers in New Mexico. Was it the worm at the bottom of the bottle of tequila? I don't know. I wasn't there. But I do know if we don't pay attention to what the heck's going on, we're going to be in big trouble. If we don't get voter ID passed and these people ever get control again, they'll be doing what James Carville wants them to do. Screw the Martians, okay? We got a bunch of savages after us here in the United States, and around the world. Here's the kind of damn games they play. Somebody posted this and said, look at the crazy district they tried to draw. It looks like a scorpion. Now, I said, something wrong here. They're always trying to play mind games. And some people that post this stuff are too stupid to see it. What is wrong with this picture? Yeah, well, Todd, Trump is making executive orders and actually going by the book and not having to create laws and constantly have judges trip him up. No, this was their new proposal. What is subconsciously a problem with somebody posting this? This is one of the districts that the Supreme Court threw out. The new one they came up with. I'll tell you what's wrong with it. Subliminally, people look at this drawing and they think it's Republican because it's red. That's what was wrong. That's what my silent part of my brain, my spidey sense was telling me. I don't push this map around without exposing it. Why would they put this picture up? Here. Whoops. Here is what it is in the upper. There, number 7. See it, folks? It's not a red district. Why would they show it as a Republican district and then go, oh, this is what the Supreme Court. See it? Number 7. It's the scorpion. This is, they put past on there. Well, this is what got thrown out. This is what will remain according to the Virginia Supreme Court. See District 7? It's not a scorpion, and it's blue. See? Why would they make District 7 complain about the design of it, but make it red like it's Republican? See it? District 7. It's the scorpion. So, anything they can do to confuse the mind You see, they even have little blue splotches on the map and light blue around it. So subconsciously people are thinking, well, this is Republican doings. They should have made it blue and said, look what the Democrats are trying to do. And they didn't even point out which district? This district down here. Number 9. See number 9? It looks like number 6 is like a combat salient, a bulge in the front. It's invading all the way into 9. It looks like some creature, a sphinx or something with its mouth wide open. Number 9, the Republican district. But anyway, it's small stuff, but let me tell you, subliminal messaging is nothing but small stuff. On and on and on, over and over and over again, to trick the mind's eye. And if they can't do that, they'll stick their finger in your mind's eye. So anyway, what's this? This is a video on these nitwits in Tennessee. Tennessee redistricting. Nashville. They had a little pimple there where they could, a blue pimple, where they could have radicals get put installed like Obama and that ilk. Now it's history. No more base operations for Marxists.
Indiana, Alabama, and South Carolina may soon pass their own last-minute maps. So here's where that leaves the redistricting wars nationwide right now. Republicans have targeted 14 extra seats. Democrats could pick up 6. Theoretically, it would be an 8-seat GOP advantage. But here's an important caveat. Just because a seat is redrawn by Republicans or even Democrats doesn't mean it automatically goes that way, especially in a year like this one.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Dana Bash. Who cares? Yeah, it's all Republicans are bad. Now the guy that was yelling at the state trooper. Here's somebody did this video of what he used to be like and what he turned into, for God's sake. There he is in front of a church, and there he is getting thrown out on his ear, or just before.
Justin J. Pearson, and I'm running for president of BSG. There are a few reasons that we're running this campaign this year. One has to do with representation. How can we represent all voices in a conversation? I wanted to do this by partnering with organizations from the Bowdoin Democrats to the Bowdoin Republicans. I want to bring together different voices, dissenting voices, voices that may be more liberal or more conservative, in order that we can reach a point of sort of the radical middle.
Here, you've had 3 strikes laws, mass incarceration, denied us of who we are, and we are still here. And today, you'll take the only majority black district from us. But I want you to know, and I want my nephew, sons, and the future to know, no matter what you do, no matter how much you try and break us and make us bend and make us quit, we will still be here.
Somebody slip you some crazy pills? Yeah, I want to sit down and have a talk with you about what? We're on stolen land, you should pay us reparations, and we should have a socialist economy where you get up and go to work every day and make sure I can be in Congress and run my big mouth with new leather chairs. Screw you, commie. You'll never subjugate me. Here they are. Here we go. What kind of social posts do you think he made about Donald Trump? What kind of social posts do you think this person made about the Epstein files, if I could get the damn thing to work? This guy right here. They're all degenerates. Andy No reports Antifa activists who celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder arrested on child S3X crimes. For years, Justin Stroop urged people to end the lives of what he thinks are fascists and bigots. Now he's the latest Antifa activist to be tangled up with messing with young people. What the heck? Has anybody figured this out yet? What is going on with her brain? Candace Owens endorses Representative Thomas Massie for re-election after lobbyists spend over $10 million to remove him from Congress. Tucker Carlson, where'd that money come from? Thomas Massie, at least 95% has come from the Israeli lobby. Oh, give him some more ammo. Thank you, Kansas, for your endorsement. Regular Americans are rallying to my defense in the final 12 days. Regular Americans. I don't think anybody dumped any damn $10 million to get rid of you. You were going out anyway. Who'd waste that kind of money? Let's see here. What's this one? Trump's Fed pick Kevin Warsh. Another big sign. Okay? What's his name is going out the door. The old creep. He's going to stay on the board. What's his name? I got a picture where Trump is throwing him in a dumpster. Here he is. Jerome Powell. Here he goes. Yay! Too late is a disaster for America. Interest rates are too high. There he is going in a dumpster. Well, I think, what is it, the 15th? He's got to step down as chairman. But he's staying on in a very unusual move. I hope Space Force can intercept some stuff concerning his loyalties. Federal Reserve Board of Governors Stephen Moran joins Mornings with Maria to break down rare Fed dissent, push for rate cuts, and weighing in on President Donald Trump's Fed chair. Well, yeah. What's the chessboard like? Can they block him from lowering the rates? They had some foreign powers influence the tariffs. This one's going around. Hold on. This one's going around. Slowly but surely, we're chipping away at him. Louise Lucas, Wheezy, from Portsmouth, Virginia. Benjamin Dominic said after the FBI raid, maybe you can even make it yourself. Thinking of some new plates for my Hummer, 10-1. That the districts would be 10-1 in Virginia. Yeah. You're going to get some different plates. Or like he said, maybe you can make some. Ha ha ha. What's this one? Oh, come on, get on screen. I got some lag and drag going on. What is this? Latest in politics. I don't know. Let's see. Are they talking about redistricting or what?
Spencer Pratt. Are you guys following the LA mayor's race?
Yes.
Who do you guys think is going to win the LA mayor's race? Elizabeth?
I mean, I think Karen Bass, but I'm very much hoping for Spencer
All right.
Pratt.
Doug, who's going to win? You're a Westerner.
I agree with that.
Really? I think
Yeah.
Spencer Pratt's going to win. I almost never predict anything, but I think he's going to win because these videos are just too good. Here's another one. This is not one of the crowdsourced one. This is the actual Pratt campaign video. Number 14, please.
There he is with that damn music in the background. And screws up everything on you, Tizzle. Like I said, you can't. Oh my gosh, would you hurry up and get past this? They're just playing one of his ads. Vote for Pratt, LA mayor. I'm going to get a notice. Somebody better talk to that kid.
Those of you listening to the podcast version of the show, it was a
slow push into a billboard that said, vote for Pratt if you're sick of all the chaos in LA. And once again, those people know how to produce. They know how to produce. Cozy Earth will give you 20% off everything on the site. Go to cozyearth.com. Use the promo code 2WAY for 20% off everything on the site. That includes the jogger set.
What's he babbling about?
In comfort and style, made from ultra soft, breathable viscose.
I got no idea. Goodbye.
Flex fit, tapered finish.
All he said was he thinks Pratt's going to win, and then played a bunch of copyright music. Oh boy. Yeah, that was worth it. But anyway, let's see here. Here's Donald Trump. He posted a couple of things people are reposting. Newsmax. Huge win for the Republican Party in America and Virginia. The Virginia Supreme Court has just struck down the Democrats' horrible gerrymander. Make America great again. President Donald J. Trump. Now, they really can't do much about it. But I'll tell you, they're still fighting Trump tooth and nail on every other damn front you can think of. Trying to close down Alligator Alcatraz still. Saying that ICE can't detain people. Where's that? Beryl Howe put out a ruling today. Where is that article? I could just give you a synopsis. That they weren't following her directives and ordering them to get warrants before they do arrests on what, 30 million people, 20 million people. It's going to go to the Supreme Court. It's going to get thrown out. But it's just another example of these judges fighting tooth and nail. Who put a bug in Kim Jong-il's ear? North Korea will fire a nuclear weapon if anything happens to Kim Jong-un. North Korea changed its constitution so its military is required to launch a retaliatory nuclear strike if Kim Jong-un is assassinated by a foreign adversary. Ain't that something? What if Trump puts that, in? About him. Don't give anybody ideas. But anyway, Trump declared May 8th as Victory Day in the Second World War in the USA, according to the White House. You know, it's my mother's birthday. I, for my longtime listeners, have discussed the fact that she was in Germany during that horrible time and saw things people shouldn't have to see, especially little girls. So I won't get into it. But we got Mother's Day coming up, folks. I hope you all are getting ready for your Mother's Day. I did a video. The sun shines east, the sun shines west. I know where the sun shines best. On my mammy, my little mammy. Remember that, folks? I had a video called I'd Walk a Million Miles for One of Your Smiles. So anyway, Trump put up, I am pleased to announce there will be a 3-day ceasefire. I talked about this a couple of podcasts ago where Putin said he wanted a ceasefire, but he said the 9th and the 10th. So now it looks like it's going to the 9th, 10th, 11th in the war between Russia and Ukraine. The celebration is for Victory Day, but likewise in Ukraine, because they were also a big part and factor of World War II, this ceasefire will include the suspension of all kinetic activity and also a prison swap of 1,000 prisoners from each country. This request was made directly by me, and I very much appreciate this agreement by Vladimir Putin and Vladimir Zelensky. Hopefully, it is the beginning of the end of a very long, deadly, and hard-fought war. Talks are continuing on ending this major conflict, the biggest since World War II. And we are getting closer and closer every day. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Man, wouldn't it be great if we got this settled, got Iran straightened out, Cuba evacuated of the Marxist creepos? Speaking of Marxist creepos, who is this? Whoa, we've got to have a litmus test for judges. Now, why won't my studio respond here? Come on. I'm not having any luck. There we go. If I get kicked off, because this is what it does sometimes. But anyway, this is a judge. A so-called judge. They get elected. Well, guess what? Christina Aguirre is letting everybody know that Judge Deidre Jefferson sentenced a child predator to 1 day for possessing nearly 1,900 images and videos of children being sexually abused. He was facing 60 years in prison. Judge Jefferson was elected to the bench by the South, can you believe that, South Carolina? In 96, by the legislature. She approved a plea deal for child predator Donald Edward Gresh Jr., who had the material that included toddlers as young as 3 being, as you can see on the screen, abused by adults and animals. What is it with these damn people? He faced 6 charges in 2018 after they raided his business and found the CSAM material. Videos of 11 to 13-year-old girls. Yeah, you can read it. And a 3 to 4-year-old being forced. And files of kids with animals. A day in jail. Let's try 20 years for both of you. Both of you. Here Trump was bragging. Rightfully so. Trump's stock market at an all-time high. S&P 500 up to 7,300 plus points. Here's a stinky judge right here. I don't know which one it is yet. Elon Musk. They're going after Elon Musk. Judge says Doge grant terminations are unlawful and troubling. This is ABC. Elon Musk Doge blatantly used race, gender, and other protected characteristics to execute the largest mass termination of federal grants in the history of the National Endowment for the Humanities. A federal judge ruled Thursday. Which federal judge? Wait a minute. Were these programs created just because of race? They shouldn't exist. So there's two sides of that coin. But they want to keep their constituents fat and happy on your dime. Where's that other report they had? It showed them out there with the signs. USAID, USAID. This is a Beryl Howell. ICE arrest violated order requiring warrants in D.C. Judge rules. This is Beryl Howell. She is a big problem. A big problem. Maybe this will be what gets rid of her or straightens her out. Oh, I was watching a video on Georgia Maloney. She's crying the blues over troops leaving Italy. Well, you shouldn't have dissed the Big Daddy from Cincinnati, right? Anyway, Zach Montague is reporting the Trump administration violated a court order from last year that strictly limited instances in which the government can make immigration arrests in the District of Columbia without a warrant. In a 45 pages of blather. Telling the Department of Homeland Security what to do, which this stuff has already been settled. What makes D.C. any different than the rest of the country? So, a lot of lawyers going to be getting money. A lot of illegals going to be suing until this gets flipped. In the next month, Todd Lyons, the acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, circulated a memo to ICE personnel. They could immediately arrest individuals who deemed likely to escape before a warrant could be obtained. Judge House said the guidance was at odds with her order. Oh, so if it looks like they're going to flee, you just let them go, right? Which required agents to demonstrate a real belief a suspect might flee and take into account factors they might suggest they would not, including their ties to the community. Anyway, on it goes and goes. It's going to get thrown out by the Supreme Court, but it's frustrating law enforcement. It affects thousands of cases and delays thousands of cases. Another typical liberal judge. Here, this is the one about Doge. Federal judge finds Doge's elimination of grants unlawful. What do you see down below? Top stories. U.S. aid must be saved. Save U.S. aid. Is that why that woman was walking by herself screaming and yelling in Tennessee because USA didn't have enough money to round up and pay protesters and print signs? I think so. But anyway, folks, I'm going to play this video because we talked about it last night about Nick Shirley. Oh, there's my QR code for Buy Me a Coffee. Ha ha ha. For those who are watching on the big screen. And I will put a final link in the chats. Anybody that wants to help out this week with Buy Me a Coffee. Now, thank everybody that helped me last week. I do appreciate it so much. But I'm going to play this video. I didn't read the post that Nick Shirley put up about his, I didn't read it out loud. I read it, but he did an interview talking about what happened in Cuba, right? Now, I said that he shouldn't have gone. And a lot of you agree with that. So let me just cover this up. Whoa, wait a minute. Now, this is odd because he would have had a passport, right? He would have had to have a passport. Would he have had been required to have a tourist visa or something from Cuba? Did he get permission? Did the State Department know about it? Because if he was to ask me, do you think I should go to Cuba? I'd have said, hell no, not right now. Not right now, but he did. So here he's given a description of what happened to him. We can watch it together because I haven't watched this one yet. But anyway, folks, what do I always say? I say thank you for spending your precious time with me. And if you're not subscribed, please think about doing it. Give me a thumbs up. It helps the video get around. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll know when I go live. So anyway, folks, enjoy this clip. And I hope you all have a great evening. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
Last question I want to ask you about a recent trip you made to Cuba. You recently described it as a tense experience, to say the least. I watched the video with your reporting in Cuba, including surveillance, how they confiscated your equipment, how you received pressure from authorities, et cetera, et cetera. What did that trip reveal about life under authoritarian systems, and did it change how you view political debates happening in the United States of America?
It was a super sad trip, to be honest. Like, when you think about Latinos, I've always thought of them as like very happy and uplifting. In Cuba, a lot of these people were very depressed and suppressed from their government. I mean, they don't have access to running electricity. They have blackouts every night. They've been suppressed for over 60 years. There's no freedom of speech. You mentioned the word communism and you ask for your opinion. The person shuts down because they know if they speak out against the current regime, they'll be imprisoned. Super sad. Super sad what's going on.
So what the hell made you go there? And how did you get out?
Well, I think right now you're seeing this rise of communism and the ideas of socialism here inside the United States. So I really wanted to make a video showing life in communism for a very long time. And I didn't really put two and two together that they wouldn't like somebody asking questions about communism inside their state. And then eventually I was followed by Cuban intelligence. They had spies at the hotel. And one thing people don't understand about communism is it turns the entire country against one another. Like, a spy is just simply a civilian inside of that state that reports you to the government for them to benefit themselves. So the entire country is essentially watching out to try and level up upon one another. And then we did have a 2-star general come to the hotel when we were trying to escape in the morning, because I was originally supposed to be there for 3 days, but the trip turned into 24 hours after we had all these spies following us. And we got interrogated, and then we fled the hotel and made it to the airport, and they let us do on our flight.
I'm going to ask the question again. How the hell you get out of there? I imagine they didn't want you there, and once you're there reporting like you claim you're reporting, they wouldn't want you to leave and disseminate that information to the world. How'd you get out of there?
I think they realized that it would have been worse for them to take me hostage than it would have been for them to let me go. Like, right now, Cuba is standing on nothing. Like, they have no gas. Like, they literally have, there's not a gas station open inside Cuba right now. They have no gas. To get gas as a taxi driver, there's lines up to 12,000. Like, you have to wait months to get gas. Like, my taxi driver, his spot to get gas was 1,200 in line. There's other people like 12,000 in line to get gas.
My goodness. So it's you. I imagine that based on your experiences, you have absolutely no problem whatsoever with the Trump administration talking about how ultimately, they may get involved and, Cuba might fall because it's a humanitarian crisis there. In other words, that's what we've been hearing here in the United States. Is that what your experience was? Is it a humanitarian crisis in Cuba?
Very much so. And I don't like the idea of the U.S. going in and invading these countries, but this would be more of a liberation. And literally, Stephen, they would just have to do like a Baker Mayfield and plant the flag. Like, there's nothing in Cuba right now.
Wow.